I'm just gonna.
We have both. Like, we have a ton of each one. They're all hanging in the
that's
your room. We're live, by the way, just for the record.
Oh.
But we all have them in the room. There's like a shit ton of them, and then there
Okay.
should be a box out there too if they need a box.
If I don't have to run to the cold.
Yeah,
Where? What room?
in your room, hanging on the closet. There's a USB-C, a regular USB.
I'm gonna see if I can hook you up,
Yeah,
girl.
it's a C charger.
Oh, gracious. But yeah, that is like, and that's going to be one of our topics we're going to talk about today too. Because we're easy. Like our biggest thing for us is we want to build in security pieces. So like if if Crazy Cakes moves in, we don't want people to feel like they could be kicked out for whatever, or put off the
Contract is for.
the thing. Yeah.
Again, I'm also playing Guardian while there too.
Like, cause there's going to be people I think that would come and just want to be left the fuck alone.
And that's fine.
And
long as they
right.
do a little bit.
Yep. If you're an up all nighter, come out and do it from 12 to 4 in the morning. Whatever works for you. But do something.
Off into the woods for a week and hunt. We're not.
Again, my plan for hunting is, I'm gonna go out into the woods for a couple days. I'm gonna hunt. I'm gonna kill something. I'm gonna bring it back. Whoever wants some meat can help.
And I am learning. Hi, Manny. Hi, Ziggy. Welcome in. And I want, yes, they think that is awesome. Why does it say no data?
I don't know. Because technology is a bitch.
Can you guys hear and see us? Just testing.
Well, I don't see you on mine. It's just this screen.
Let's refresh and see if we've got a hiccup going on.
But yeah, I have no problem with people if they just want to be left the fuck alone.
Yeah.
And, okay, come out and contribute a little bit. Or if you've got, if you work from home, throw some money in the pot and just stay in your space. We don't care.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's what me and Brad were talking about. There's a good. Glad you can hear. I don't know what happened, but it hiccuped. But I think we're on finally. We'll get video in just a second. So you'll hear us chatting about random stuff for a minute while we're getting this set up. So, but yeah, like we're thinking like I'll be able to come out more often because I can work from there. He needs to continue with income here, but once like our goal in the next 2 years is to pay off all of the extra stuff we don't need.
Yep.
And once we peel that back, we can funnel a lot of money into that. But we were thinking we could probably do an upfront amount that would help, like just to secure a group. But we'll talk about all that in detail.
The ones we had didn't
Yeah, like,
fit.
I
It
know.
was the angled ones. We need the round one. It looks like.
Out of all those 15, there's not a round one.
Where are you
Go grab one from the car.
seeing?
It's
Yeah,
easier.
I'll go grab mine.
I saw 3.
All right, y'all.
He's just going to grab it from the car. It's
Yeah, but now I gotta show him because he's crazy.
Well, that's possible.
Oh my goodness. Anyway.
That's exciting, though. About that. Just look at this. Like we can literally see them,
And that's how it is where we're.
and I'm not feeling that.
I mean, it's getting that way where we are too. It won't be quite as bad because we've got a bigger lot and there's the green belt behind, but it's gonna be almost as bad as here with the people up your butt, and I'm not about that.
No.
That's funny because the realtor I was talking to kind of wants to do the same thing, but on a smaller scale, like 10 acres with just like his family. He's like, this is amazing. Like, if I could convince my wife, I'd be wanting to buy this plot too.
I mean, it's just not. I don't know. It's like Legos.
My goal is to go up there and be the local cryptid in the forest.
It's like, did you find one?
Yep, there's 15 of them hanging in there.
Oh, where were they? You'll have to show me.
In your game room. On your shelf.
Game room.
Well, I'm glad you found
You
them.
have a game building.
All right.
We'll have a game building. That'll be fun.
Yes.
Yes, a game building.
It is a party.
Oh, let me pause. This.
Yeah, so we'll go live. We had to get some things because Bradley can't figure out his ass from a hole in the ground. I wonder how close that is to Appleton.
Good morning. Oh, I love. Appleton was
not
cute.
sure. We'll have to
Because
look it up.
Mrs. Well, I'm not going to say that out loud. We'll just let her.
Is someone
Yeah.
near? Just tell me yes or no. Is someone near Appleton?
Apparently, yes.
Awesome.
And we know several people that are up in Wisconsin.
All right, let's get the video
Good
on.
morning. Are we gonna call the things, or
Yes, okay, we'll call the things first.
do y'all want to do one, or whoever wants to can? Yeah.
Y'all ready? Bum, 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 bum.
He said it, not me.
Hear me, friends and ancestors from the east. Hear my voice carried on the air of clarity and truth. Watch over us as we cast our circle of safety and love.
See me, friends and ancestors from the south. See my flame of passion and creation seared into the energy of the universe. Watch over us as we cast our circle of limitless possibility.
Y'all want to do one or no? Feel me, friends and ancestors from the west. Feel my love, fear, sadness, and joy washed into the waters, the rivers of compassion. Watch over us as we cast our circle of connection and motion.
Reach me, friends and ancestors from the north. Reach my feet, hands, the earth in my toes, and work of my fingers. Watch over us as we cast our circle of strength and grounding.
Know me, friends and ancestors from the ether. Know my intent, know my heart, know my spirit. Watch over us as we ask you to join us in perfect love and perfect trust.
Hear, see, feel, reach, and know that this circle is safe, this circle is sacred, and this circle is cast.
Woohoo! Now, I know you only
Ooh, I look
see
orange.
two of us. Yeah, I don't know why it's orange. It's like the color.
I'm
Your
trumping.
energy is very Oompa Loompa.
I'm trumping.
What?
Um,
I'm petting you.
So we do have some guests with us that will
Excuse me.
join as they wish. They're off camera at the moment, but you know, you'll hear them.
Hi.
Hi.
So, with that being said, how's everybody doing?
Call the things. Call the things.
Call the things. Call the things. Oops, I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. Sorry, y'all.
It'll be alright. Figure it out. Maybe.
Oh.
Champagne on an empty stomach. It's gonna be fun.
Trying to get us in right here. Okay, there we go. All right, had to make some adjustments. All right. So as you can see, we have people, and yes, we are outside. I'm excited about that. Stream looks like it's in excellent condition.
Mm. We can be back outside because
Yes.
we finally have our full cage back, only 6.5
And we're
months later.
not being assaulted by skeetamas.
Mm-hmm.
Or, as our friend from Trinidad would say,
Musket toes.
musket toes. She was telling us about the musket toes for so long, and I could like, what the is a musket toe? She's like, you know, they bite the musket toe. I'm like, oh, mosquitoes.
Sounds like a guy with muskets for toes.
Musket
Like I'm
toes.
telling you,
The new Crippet.
Yeah, that'd be
Musket-toe.
cool.
musket toe.
Oh, I'm gonna be the new cryptid soon. That's what's gonna happen.
That's awesome.
That is cool.
That's funny, but it's
I
awesome.
already given her name. She's cousin of Bigfoot.
Cousin of Bigfoot.
Just cause.
All right.
Yeah.
Cause.
We
So-
want a freaking ghillie suit jumping out of the trees at people.
And I'm gonna be scrawny guy.
Manny, Florida pterosaurs. That's hilarious.
Mm.
But yes, so we have a pretty quick show, but we've got some really fun topics. Rook is going to do the things that you do when you go online and you read articles.
Articles.
And I'm just going to watch because the last 3 weeks I had to do this by myself.
Yeah, well,
Now you
unfortunately,
got people. You had Joy last week.
Yeah,
I did have joy last week, yes.
I had to work the last 6 Sundays, 6 days a week, so I'm
That is true.
glad. And I didn't get a day off during the week, so I'm glad to be done with that.
Our big topics today are going to be defense and homesteading. So if you can see,
Yeah.
I'm hoping this doesn't offend anybody, but if it does, I really don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But this, the most offensive thing on the shirt to some people, especially in the gay community, is that this is the updated flag, which for some reason causes a lot of controversy.
I don't understand why.
It's a flag.
I have that flag outside my house.
Yes,
that
I have
says
a bandana
everyone is
that's this
welcome
flag.
here.
Yeah. So, but it causes a lot of strife for some reason. Like it's crazy. Y'all gonna hate me in a minute.
Oh, what you burning?
Hing.
Oh.
I'm starting with Hing to clear. The only problem is with Hing, it usually clears Brad. Like he's the one that.
It'll drive me out.
So we're
That's
talking.
kinda like Pine does to me.
Oh, pine,
Yeah.
pine does?
I burn the
Oh.
pine at home all the time. You don't even
Well,
notice.
Pine pollen.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
the resin at home, not the.
Yeah, I can see that. But our big conversation, our big topic today is defense, because we are looking to start a Cape Coral Snowbird version of the Pink Pistols. So we've downloaded the manual. I've read the manual on how to do that. It is an open welcome. It's not for gay people only. It's for everybody. And it basically is they believe everybody has the right to defend themselves in whatever way they can, period. And our group will be focused on gun safety because that's something we enjoy doing. But that's that. And it used to be one in Fort Myers, but the person moved and opened one up where they went, which I think was Mississippi.
Hey,
That's in the
Mama.
history.
Yes, we're outside. Good
But
morning.
yeah, so we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about homesteading because I think that's our retirement plan.
Oh, hell yeah.
And Pink Pistols, yeah, it's everybody should defend themselves, but a goal of it is to help people that haven't been able to or don't know how to
Or
get
are
into
afraid,
a range
or
or
scared.
afraid to go learn how to shoot a firearm, how to do it with resources to take them to the range, the first time, get them comfortable. Because if you've never done it, I mean, there's some anxiety.
It's
about
scary.
It.
I remember
It's scary. Like, I didn't know what to, I'm like, okay, what?
Okay. Last week was my first time,
What did I
and I
do?
was very nervous.
Yeah.
I was in the military, and I still get that little nervousness when I pull
When
the
you're-
trigger.
If you haven't been doing it for a while, that's absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
the kick of the gun that always gets you every time.
Yeah. And then what made me nervous is the first time it was a misfire, and I said, "Okay, what do I do?
Just
What do I do?"
freaked
And
out,
then
yeah.
Will it blow?
you have
Oh,
to,
my
you
goodness.
know.
Yeah.
to-
Yeah, you
Ooh,
literally
that
did.
hing's coming for me.
It's coming for me, too.
I love it.
Blowing right in my face here.
But so the first article I found on this topic was gun demanding: the psychology of why people want firearms, and there's a few different reasons.
Can I say why I want them first?
Sure, of course.
Originally, I wanted guns because my dad had them, and he taught me very early how to be safe with them. And I remember somebody in our house made a mistake and wasn't safe, and I snapped at them so fast at the age of 8. That is not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to act like it's loaded at all times. And I got the approval from family of trying to be safe on that, and that's a memory that has stuck with me since I was a kid. And they're just freaking fun.
Yeah.
So
I mean-
definitely, yeah.
I mean, my dad made sure to drive it home gun safety every time
Mm-hmm.
we pulled out the guns to shoot.
Sorry to interrupt your article, but I just wanted
No,
to
that's
kind of
what
put it out
is.
there because
It's a
that was my number one
discussion.
reason, and it's I don't know that I would have the wherewithal in the event that somebody comes up to pull the gun and shoot somebody. And if I have to run to get away, I'm sorry, guys, I'm not coming back in to save you.
Well-
Now, if we're in an area where I have the ability to and it's on me, then I probably think I could, but it would not be a quick. Like in the mall, that's not happening. I'm
Well, that's-
ducking and covering.
Yep.
That's the whole thing. People that truly want them for protection or recreation, they would be loath to use it. I mean, it would be
Yeah.
something, would have to be a last
I
option.
won't do the hing
Yeah.
forever.
And I can guarantee you, as somebody who is trained to pull the trigger, if I'm at the mall, even if I have a gun on me or not, and I hear shots fired, the first thing I'm doing is ducking and covering.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because
Because if you get hit, you can't shoot back.
Yeah, that's the first thing you should do is duck and cover. Don't play cowboy.
Yeah.
Pull your gun out and.
Yeah,
That's
because
how
you're
you
the
get
next
your-
target.
That's how you get shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You duck and cover and then you assess. And I actually heard a good reason as to why people like guns. They are a great equalizer.
They
You
are.
don't need to be able to throw fist. You don't need to be able to swing a sword. All you have to do is it's a simple point and click.
hmm
It's the most user-friendly weapon there is.
And probably most times, if you do that, that person's going to turn around. I mean, or maybe not. If
Maybe
they have
they'll pull
a
out their
gun.
gun.
But
You never know. But anyway,
thank you, Ziggy.
Sorry.
I like these two. So people, the reasons cited, and this is from I think 2015. This article that I found, but protection, recreation, and then also paranoia, anger, and fear.
yeah.
So opposers to gun control often cite the Second Amendment, but just because I have the right to something doesn't mean it's mandatory or I should do it. Protection, most common reasons cited, like large dogs or security lights. If self-preservation rather than aggression is why you have a gun, this is what we were saying, you would be most likely loath to have to use it.
Yeah, I hope I never have to use it
Yeah.
for sure. But I might have to one day, and I'd like to know how.
I want to hunt things.
Of course, like I tell people in our house, if you break in, you're more likely to catch an axe to the face than a bullet, because again, my guns are locked up.
Well, not only that, but you don't want to damage your house either,
That's
because
it.
birdshot. It's pretty good damage to wood.
Yeah, but my gun's locked up.
The gun's locked up.
It's
but there's
gonna
an axe
take
by the
longer for me to get the gun out of the safe
That is true.
and then go to where the bullets are at, because I keep the bullets
back, 'cause we
locked
have
up
children.
separate from the gun.
Yeah.
Then it would to just grab an axe or a sword off the wall, and on top of that, it's just strategically more feasible to get them to come to you
Mm.
in a closed space.
Yeah.
And if you got the weapon, you can take them by surprise.
I think my biggest fear of using a gun, which I will say I have.
Yes.
Maybe I will use it. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh
I'm
my
kidding.
God.
I'm kidding.
That's why you use a squirt gun. with
Yes.
fucking,
Yes.
hot sauce.
Morning, Tabby.
But yeah. So I'm afraid. I'm always been afraid that I will pull it out and not be able to tell the difference between friend or foe and hit the wrong person. And I would. I'm not going to say what I want to say right now, but I would not be able to live with that. Like I don't think I could overcome that mistake. You know what I mean?
So the other use,
So last
recreation.
chance. Recreation is the number one thing for me.
Hunting and target shooting are freaking fun. I don't know about
Yes,
hunting,
they are.
but target shooting, it's fun to see how your aim and how you put the rounds on the target and getting better. It's fun.
I enjoy shooting things in the neck, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I could, and we've talked about this I think last week or even before, I don't know that I could hunt. But I think in a scenario I could be present and I could learn the techniques to salt cure, and as long as everything. I even had a friend of mine who is vegan. I think I mentioned this too, and she would go in with me because she had dogs, and she believed that dogs shouldn't be forced to be vegan, right? But she was, so we would buy an animal, and she would use the pieces that I wouldn't, and we actually would use the rest. Although I think 90% of us on our side, and I could be 90% probably vegetarian, and that's long. But in the cold winter, and all those things, you've got to have. I think there has to be some other type of dense, non-sugary food, because to me that it would kill me if I couldn't have meat in my diet right now.
Yep.
The way my blood sugars are
Like
going.
ham, yeah.
Because even
stuff.
You need
fresh
something
fruit
high protein,
flops
high
me right
fat.
up. I have to have something high. Well, avocado is probably the one thing that would really help with that. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead. What else you got on your list?
Oh no, just saying.
Yeah. Year round.
So if it's like hobby hunting or target shooting, like anything else, it requires equipment, which is gun, ammo, tools. There's also, I think, a small, hopefully, group of these people: paranoia, anger, and security. So having a gun, of course, makes you feel more powerful, but the people that really are using it for protection and fun, would not likely be wanting to use it unless they had to.
It's like, why do you think there's never been and maybe I'm wrong, maybe there hasn't, but I don't think so. There's never been a mass shooting at a gun place, range,
They all got guns.
because they all got guns.
There was a mass shooting at a army.
I do remember that one in
Oh.
There
Texas.
was, but-
Yeah,
But the thing
they didn't
with
have their
that-
guns with them.
Yeah.
Never mind.
The thing
It's like
with
the
military
office part.
bases, the thing with military bases that I've experienced is you don't carry your gun the entire time you're on base. The only time you carry your gun is when
Training and
training and when it's necessary,
That's true.
when it's issued to you.
It's still a stupid target though, because there's lots of guns there that are
Oh, yeah.
easily accessible.
yeah.
And then some people in the paranoia category fall into, oh, this person has a bigger gun, I need more guns, which, I don't know. That's
One of my
just some
favorite-
points.
One of my favorite paranoid. I'm gonna take on the government with my 100
Oh
guns.
my gosh.
The government.
Yeah.
Sorry, but you can only fire one gun at a time if you're firing a rifle. If you're firing a pistol, you can do two at a time, but you're not
Yeah.
getting much accuracy out of it.
I just kind of feel like when
Oh,
it
at
comes-
Fort Hood, my mom was saying.
Fort
That's where
Hood,
that
yeah.
was, yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh,
that
the
is
range.
sad.
That's sad.
But and I think of all the different things and abilities, and it's not going to go away ever. I certainly do believe that there's going to be a mass.
Ooh, somebody would only be an hour away if we were in the Appleton area.
She said it was okay to say it, but yes.
That'd be cool.
Stupid.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
She
Yeah.
who may not be named.
I looked it up on the maps and I couldn't even find Appleton.
Yeah. It's just there's so many like little cities like
Yeah.
that that are small and
Little towns. and-
little towns. Yeah.
Of course, that's what that's kind of what I want, you know. We're away from the
Sweating
town,
cheeks.
but not
Oh my
too far from a
gosh.
small town.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like here.
I
I
grew
mean.
up in a small town.
I want to be the local cryptid. That's my goal.
I love that.
My high school was
So-
literally like 4 schools put together.
Oh wow.
Mine was not. Ours was expanding constantly.
I mean, I love where we live, but it should not take to go. How many miles is it? To go 9 miles, it should not on some days take 45 minutes.
Oh,
I mean, that's just ridiculous.
my drive to
Because of the
work.
traffic.
My drive to work before the hurricane only took 5 minutes.
Oh wow.
The past couple weeks, it has literally taken me a half hour to get to work.
He works 4 miles from home.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
The other
Um,
week, I was gonna go to Little Caesars, literally less than a minute from where I work. I was gonna hop to Little Caesars, grab a pizza, and head home.
Nothing.
It
I
was
love
quicker.
Little Caesars.
It was actually quicker to go to the next town over, to their Little Caesars,
Insane.
which was literally a 15-minute drive away,
Mm.
and then go home.
It's gotten so bad. I do want to point out Ziggy does say there's been shooting at ranges. I did not know that, but that's interesting would be interesting to look at. I'm sure there's been probably shootings at everything.
There has been, because once you get to a certain point, it doesn't matter if you know the other people have guns, because half these people are trying to suicide themselves
Yep.
Yeah.
by other people. So, people can kill me here, I'm gonna go here and do it there.
I know there was
Yeah.
that instant of irresponsibility where they had a 9-year-old girl at a gun range up in Orlando firing an Uzi and she lost control of the gun.
I
Oh
remember
my
that.
gosh.
I remember that in the news.
Yep.
Like on safety needs to be a thing.
It was stakes and guns with a bar, and unfortunately for me, I just feel that booze and guns don't.
Hey,
mix.
Shar.
Never should. Never should.
No, any
Bad,
kind
bad
of
decisions are made when on
any
alcohol.
kind of substance and guns should not mix.
No.
And I am not against I'm against requirements for registration. The whole purpose of that ownership is to defend yourself and ultimately to defend yourself against the country. Because what they had to do to get it, that's what the purpose was, in my opinion.
But yeah, better background checks and a safety
Sure.
course required. Why is
Yeah.
that such a big deal?
Yeah.
I don't think
And-
that's a big deal.
And on top of that, maybe a bit more penalties for accidental gun discharge.
Mm-hmm. And or
Like-
Negligence.
negligence or not leaving
that's
them
the one I was
put up
thinking of
properly.
right
Yeah.
there was negligence. Like the
Yeah.
cop in Illinois got home, put his gun on the
Counter.
no, he
Mm.
put it on the coffee table,
Oh my gosh.
and his 3-year-old niece or nephew picked it up and started playing with it. You know, like a kid who's seen guns in media and whatnot. Oh,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom!
Mm.
Gun went off, killed the cop's wife.
Oh my gosh.
That
That
is the
cop-
kind of stuff that would.
That cop should have been punished for his
Mm-hmm.
negligence.
Yep.
Yeah. All of ours, except the one that is concealed on us at a time, are in
And locked up.
locked
Yeah.
boxes.
That's like we bought the gun safe before we got the gun because we're like, if we're gonna
Yeah.
have guns in the house, we have
You
a
have to have a
child.
safe. Yep.
Other children come over to our house all the time. Like, I'm not gonna have
No.
my kid or somebody else's get hold of this gun and be responsible for the death of somebody else because
And I have
I
no-
was an idiot. It's not happening.
And I have the only key
Yep.
to that safe.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Good.
I'm gonna burn a little
course.
bit of our beltane here. See what
Okay.
that we made.
Of course, we found out last weekend my gun's really not that great anyway, so.
But still, it's better
It
to be
works.
safe
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah. It works when it wants to. Of
That smells good.
course, I think that was partially the
Ooh, we did
magazine
good.
was
Yeah, I'll have to get a new one.
magazine's faulty because it wasn't pushing the rounds up all the way.
Yeah, that's often that happens a lot. And yeah, welcome in, Shar. As you know, this is kind of a strong topic, so if anybody has anything they'd like to share, please do. If you disagree with us, we're not going to be mad about it. Like,
No, again, like I was always bigger on gun control than he was, but like I'm realistic about it in that measures that worked in other countries are
Not
not
gonna
going to
work
work here because there's too many guns in the general populace already. So
Yeah.
all you can really do is require again better background checks and people to have a safety class, so at least you know what the hell you're doing with your gun before you have it.
Yeah.
And one thing I will say, complacency kills.
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Same thing with the cop, right? That's what it was.
Yep, it's not just guns either. There's a lot of things that complacency kills. Construction work,
Mm.
long haul trucker, driving down the road.
Yeah.
Mhm.
As soon as you get complacent and you get comfortable with it,
White stage.
Well, it's even with, like the herbs that I use. A
Mhm.
lot of them are freaking dangerous, and if you get complacent with them, you're gonna accidentally poison yourself.
Yeah, I apparently have nightshade growing in the backyard, or a version of nightshade growing back there that I wasn't aware of.
Probably.
That's very common in Florida.
Yes.
We finally mowed it down, but I was weed eating out there, and my feet broke out really bad.
Mm-hmm.
These little red dots all over, and then looked it up, and that's what it was from.
Yep.
I'm like, it's crazy.
The funny thing is, you can probably eat it because the nightshades that are native to Florida, the berries, once they're black, are edible, but the rest of it'll kill you, and they'll kill you
Yeah.
before they're black.
So are they white
Oh,
berries
wow.
that turn black?
They start off white, then they go green, and then they go black.
Okay, because these were all white berries. That's when I looked them up, and that's what it said they were.
And it could be a different type of nightshade too.
It also
'cause-
beamed me in the eyeball, and then I couldn't see for like a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, might want to be a bit more careful around that then.
Yep, it is why when we went to the UU, I'm like, y'all wearing glasses if we're out here doing this shit.
Mhm.
So I made everybody put on safety
We
glasses.
brought Sage and
You have to.
my friend's kids to the park, and I walked over, and there were literally within this tiny area right next to the kids' playground 4 different species of highly toxic, deadly plants, and I'm looking at it going,
Huh.
this is not a good place for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they were everywhere. I'm like, all this, if some curious kid or dog comes over here, they're gonna be dead because these are amazingly toxic plants where you don't even
Mhm.
have to eat it, you just have to like rub it on your skin.
No.
That's terrifying.
Ooh.
What's your other article?
Homesteading.
Yes.
What is it? And the
Woohoo.
essential steps to get started by Jennifer Poindexter. And we have some really good people with us that can talk about it.
One thing we've been talking a lot in the past, if you call them, about prepping. I've been doing prepping, I would say, for about 5-6 years.
Yes, Tabby, agreed. Safety, education, and respect. for your
Absolutely.
tools.
And there's a lot we can do to make that happen too. But so prepping is very close to, in some cases, homesteading. Those things kind of go together.
A lot of overlap.
So in general, I love making beef jerky. I want to learn how to do, and I learned how to do it, but I want to actually do it, like the salt preservation of large pieces of meat that render them basically stable forever.
It's really easy
So
to
the
do.
Yeah.
bacteria can't grow or
Yeah.
can't.
There's so much salt that the bacteria can't grow, and the one that I learned,
Oh.
but I've never actually done
You
it.
just gotta make sure when you cook it that you boil it in some water, then toss the water, then do it again, or you're gonna have some really salty food.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
And the main
yeah.
thing too is a lot of people when they hear prepper, they think those weird doomsday guys up in the mountains building. Doesn't have to be.
No,
We,
I mean,
we prep for hurricanes.
everybody
Yeah.
in
Oh,
Florida
yeah.
should be
A
at
prepper.
least low-key prepper
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
at some point you're gonna get whacked with an eating and it's
Now
gonna suck.
we take it a
Yeah.
little bit further. Like we have our bug out bags and we have food,
Yeah.
and so I took we take all of our expired canned food and we keep it because it may taste like crap, but as long as it's not dented or opened, it
It'll
will
keep you alive.
keep for 5-10 more years. It'll still have nutritive value.
Most like for a good 5 years after the date. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's just for sales.
Yeah.
Like we worked in a grocery store, and those goodbye dates are just for on the shelf.
Yeah.
In the store, you have a good 5 years after that before you're going to notice any quality difference in
Yep.
your food at all.
And even with the quality difference, it could go really down south. 10 years, it should still be edible
Yeah.
and should still have a nutritive value. It's just going to be probably mushy or maybe not as good.
So it's probably like a regulation they had
Yes,
to put on it or
it's,
something.
It's the food industry
When-
regulations.
Yeah.
When
but
what's more
FDA
dangerous is dented cans.
Yes.
Dented cans are way more dangerous
Yep.
Than
than
expired
expired
food.
date.
Because they got that lining on them.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
And if you break that lining or bend it, things will seep in over time.
Yep.
That's why I hate dented cans. It's the only thing that's ever made me sick.
And tin is not good for you.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See, when we're homesteading, we're not going to use cans. We're going to get the jars.
Glass.
Jars.
My grandmother, and I'm going way off topic already now in homesteading. That's one of the biggest things I want to learn, relearn to do. Because I did as a kid. She made her own jams, her own jellies. We canned our stewed tomatoes every year. We'd have like just things full of it.
See, and I know how to do that. I just don't have the equipment. So.
Yeah,
That's cool.
tomatoes
Yeah,
are
and
the
see, we can help
easiest
get the
thing you
equipment, and
can.
I can learn how to do it.
Ooh.
And I am going to buy a freeze dryer. That's going to be a
Well,
requirement.
tomatoes are easy because they're so acidic that you don't have to worry. Like you don't have to boil bath the tomatoes. You just pop them in the oven.
She did actually do the boil bath,
You don't
but
have
Yeah,
to, though.
my dad always did the boil bath with
because
the,
we stewed them
tomatoes.
first because we always like them stewed to get the skin off.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then she'd chop them up, season them, put them in there, and then boil them in the oven, like the double boiler or whatever.
Yeah, you don't need to though. You can just as long as it pops, you know.
As long as the top pops, yeah.
You're fine because the tomatoes are so acidic that you don't have to worry. Now, other stuff that's not acidic, you have to do the boil bath or it'll go bad.
Yeah.
Ooh, we
That's
could do peaches. We could do
everything.
Can you
Millions
can
of
strawberries?
Peaches for me.
Peaches for me.
You can even can like meat and stuff
Oh,
like that as well.
I miss the
That's
90s.
I think I just dated myself there.
I miss the 90s and
Alright,
2000s.
We're all old here. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
But anyway, I wanted to kind of point out like the prepper is kind of a thing that is much associated with
Oh, it
homesteading
is,
because you're
for
preparing for
sure.
the seasons,
Yep.
you know. So, go ahead.
Yeah. No, and I found out a couple of cool things. So, what is it? According to dictionary.com, homesteading is any dwelling with land or buildings where a family makes its home. The original definition. Now it pertains more to self-sufficiency.
It's a myth.
Yeah. Homesteading looks different for everyone. You don't need to own a ton of acreage or have 12 children. Single people and apartment dwellers can homestead.
Yes,
Um,
much harder.
How did this practice come about? Homesteading. In 1862, the amended Homestead Act was put in place by Abraham Lincoln, which allowed U.S. citizens or future citizens to have up to 160 acres of public land, as long as you were an adult, age 21, and had never
Why am I
taken
tipping
up
this?
arms against the federal
I
government.
was tipping it, but it's like a straw.
You could apply for this land. Women and immigrants could apply, but African Americans could not until 1866. So many people applied for this land under these acts that they were officially ended in 1976. So that was cool to find out, like a little history or one version
Yeah.
of history.
Mhm. And there is homesteading acts in pretty much all the states that are related to the federal
Like
guidelines.
we had to sign one for this house,
Mhm.
right? Like just to get this
Allows us to
house.
grow food on our
Mhm.
land, which is kind of backwards. You shouldn't have to do that to do
No.
that, but
Should have to ask permission.
right?
well, that's like in where was it? It's in one of the not maybe might be Broward County, but one of the Atlantic sides. Somebody was growing fruit trees in their front yard, and they got sued by the like the city, and they sued back and won. So now you can grow food in the front yards.
It's so stupid.
That's really
Yeah.
dumb.
Stupid.
And they say it's because the food drops and rots. I'm like, look, if everybody would take the sidewalks and grow apple trees and peach trees,
Walk past somebody's yard, just pull it,
yeah.
Yeah.
eat it while you go down the
And-
road.
Yeah.
One really good karma thing for me that happened during the hurricane. There's somebody down at the end of our street who had a really nice avocado tree and a guava tree.
Mhm.
And it said, don't touch. These are ours, blah, 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 private property. And they put cameras up everywhere. Both of them got demolished.
I was gonna say they both gone now.
All the other trees were fine.
In spite of me wanting to scream, karma doesn't work that way, but
It doesn't, but yeah, because the
But
tree
it-
didn't do anything.
there's a lack of a better word
Yeah.
anyway. So
It's, well, actually, there is a better word. It is, I don't know what it is, though, but there is one. It's like,
Schadenfreude.
But, like, to me, it's like almost like,
I was gonna say German word
Schadenfreude.
because Germans have a word for everything.
Taking pleasure in somebody else's misfortune because they fucking deserved it.
Schmetterling. That's the only one I can remember.
Schmetterling.
Butterfly. Was on that video where they make fun of people's things. And it's like butterfly, papillon, busan, vididoon, schmetterling,
That was funny. I remember that one. I remember you playing it.
ambulance, ambulancia, krankenwagen.
Fucking.
Anyway, okay, I'm done.
Are you sure?
No.
Oh, it could be worse. What was it? Switzerland. The word for speed bump is fart boxer.
Oh my god. Okay. There's a fart boxer in the road. Be careful.
That is so stupid. I love it.
I needed that. I haven't had a good laugh in a while. Fart
Oh my
boxer.
goodness.
But why would people homestead today? Maybe disillusionment with modern life. Many conveniences with negative side effects. So, convenience of going to the store and buying pre-made food, packed with preservatives, sugars, and fillers. Ethical. Industrial farming is harmful to animals and the environment. Cheap labor and indentured servitude are common in developing countries where we get a lot of our food. A lot of us, myself included, are accustomed to cheap, disposable items versus well-made items that last a lifetime or your lifetime. If I can buy it, why take the time to make it? Homesteading today, embracing a more sustainable, holistic lifestyle. Growing and preserving your own food. A foundation is the foundation of modern homesteading. Grow whatever you
Need another
can.
glass?
Yeah, I do. Grow whatever you can with your available space, then preserve by canning, pickling, dehydrating, or freezing your
pickling.
harvest.
I love pickling.
Pickling. I'd probably like pickles
And see,
if I pickled them myself.
I would love to do pickling and stuff like that, but I want to make my downfall has always been I want to make my own pickling spices. Like it's always about like I need to buy something to do the thing that I want, like bullets. I have to buy bullets for the gun. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to reach outside.
Well, see, when we have our giant herb garden, you'll be able to make your own.
See,
pickling
that's the thing.
spices.
Those are the things that draw me to a homesteading retirement. Is the ability to capture those things and then ultimately get people to come out to spend time and
Yep.
see what you do.
That'd be
Thinking of
nice.
tour groups and
Yeah,
classes
that's a
and
big
all
part
sorts
of it.
Fun stuff, retreats.
Yep. Oh, and the gun range.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gun range.
I have a safety range we can teach on.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
could.
totally in the plans.
Yeah.
It is.
Because I enjoy shooting way too much not to have one.
Not to
And
have
it's fun.
one.
We need
Oh
to,
gosh, yes.
which, by the way, the whole pink pistols thing that's in the brain, which we can talk about that later too. We're definitely going to do the cigar bar sometime for a meeting, because that place was so
Yeah,
much fun.
that was really
But then
cool.
Cecil Webb will be our quarterly like training and out, I think. But anyway,
That was
I digress.
I am very jealous
Pack
that you
goats.
guys got to spend time at a cigar bar.
Yeah, he said
Oh.
that last night. He's like, oh.
It's
It is nice. We were only there for 2 hours, and it was just you can vape, you can smoke, walk in humor. The guys are nice. The girl works there. I think she was off, and they were just eating pizza in the front, and
my vape store that I go to.
it's so nice.
They built the cigar bar next door, and they've been telling me every time you should come check it out. I'm like, I thought it'd be like some little thing, with a little coffee bar type size, but it was. They have a nice whole room humidor,
So
an actual bar.
It's like the smoke shop near us that I often go to. They have the smoke lounge, and they have nice recliner chairs.
Mhm, this one just do.
Yeah.
They
Surprised.
got the walk-in humidor.
Yeah.
Looked kind of like an old little speakeasy. There's a place in Newport News that we went to one time called Still, where you
Hey,
literally
is it-
walk into the back of somebody's house and go down, and it's
Oh,
like the
nice.
Prohibition style.
That is awesome.
Very cool. But it had that feeling on it, even though it was bright outside. That it's blacked out windows. It's very nice. Like I was very impressed. Like I want to go back today.
Well, you could next week.
What does that have to do with go back today?
Oh, to the cigar bar. I thought you were talking about the the still.
It's alright.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
You could raise your own livestock.
Pack
Chickens.
goats.
Chickens, ducks,
Oh, we're definitely
geese,
having
goats,
goats.
And I wanna make
sheep,
goat cheese.
cows, other. It's all about what do you want to achieve.
I've made cheese before. Not goat cheese, but I'm sure I can figure it out.
Manny says one of the parks trails we visit allows pack goats on the trail and for camping. I bet they'd be phenomenal on Homestead. Absolutely, they would.
Oh, we're totally getting
Oh,
goats.
I'd
That's
love
the
little
first
goats.
livestock besides the
Chickens,
poultry we're gonna
goat,
get.
yeah.
It's gonna be goats and
See,
pigs.
my sister has 17 acres in Virginia, and they have pigs, horses, and chicken. Now, obviously, the horses are for riding, but the pigs and chickens are for eggs and meat.
Yeah.
And
And she wants to get a llama.
Llama.
Llamas are better guard animals than
know.
dogs.
Really?
have you
Yep.
seen Llamageddon?
I want a llama. Again, you can use the fur for making.
Ziggy knows we've seen Llamageddon.
I've seen Llamageddon too.
Yeah.
I was the one who
didn't even make
suggested
it to the
Llamageddon
end.
in the beginning. But
Bring him, Susie Chen.
yeah, I want a
What'd you
llama
say?
because they're better for guarding herds than dogs. Because they'll stay right with the herd all the time, and they will attack and kill predators that try to get at the herd.
Oh, I bet.
And you can
They're
use their
stompers, aren't
fur.
they?
Oh,
They like to
that's
stomp.
cool.
You can shear them like sheep and use the fur for making yarn and
That
then
would
knitting
be
with it.
something else to
Heck
learn to
yeah.
do, right?
Oh, I can.
Oh,
Like
it's
that would
in
be
there.
something because their coats, when they blow their coats, you can spin it.
I know. I have
Like
bags
for
of whiskey for our
mittens.
home to do that with.
I
should buy
would
this
love.
winter.
And
When
we'll
I was a-
need warm clothes there.
When I was a kid, we had this thing called sheep to shawl that we did in Virginia every year, and we had sheep, and we'd take it up, they'd shear them, and then they would show us how to make it, and I just forgot how
We're
to do
totally
it.
getting sheep too.
That's
awesome.
cool.
It's,
I know how to weave, so I can.
Ooh.
the most
Nice
basic
poncho
way to
cloak
do it
stuff.
is just spin it.
Yep.
Twist it around
Yeah, but
itself.
you get a drop spindle and it's easier because you just
Yeah.
keep feeding it and it'll keep making the thread.
That is cool.
Fun times.
That's
We'll do that.
actually.
And I already know how to weave. Sage knows how to weave, so we can take the yarn and make the nice ponchos, nice cloaks, nice all sorts of stuff.
Alpaca lips.
That is so
Manny.
cool. Cook from scratch. Learn to make nourishing, nutrient-rich soups and stews. Learn to
Yes.
bake bread. Mill flour from grains and seeds.
See, I already know how to
Another
do all
reason.
Like a water wheel possibility for a water wheel to make electricity.
that. Yep.
If you get a nice piece of property with a river or freaking small
River
canal,
or creek. I think.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
some kind of moving water source,
Yeah.
you can.
Like I've got the solar down. Like we have multiple little solars. Like and there's certain areas. Like for example, the
Oh, I love water.
our
power. That's
idea
cool.
for like the ritual room or tarot style room or whatever. It's only going to need light.
Yep.
So you only need a small solar panel and a single outlet
Candles.
connected to it. And I have those. You can buy that whole system for $100.
Yeah, candles. We're gonna have our own bees. We'll have our own wax to make our own candles.
I want to learn how to do bees too. See, homesteading to me
It's
is
so cool.
the idea behind it is rewarding because instead of spending the time going and do what you do for your daily job to do stuff, you're doing the things that are
for your
directly.
own shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
It's
doing
the
it
same
for
amount of
you.
work. It's just it removes the middleman.
And probably less stressful too. Like
Yeah.
I
Oh,
can go
yeah.
and okay, I'm stressed out. I'm gonna go play in the garden for 2 hours and then do this other job.
If I took one day off of work on the one Monday through Friday week, I do yard work. We go out front and we do stuff. But when you only have 2 days to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you're zapped.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
And that's how we started out doing that stuff. We weren't meant, to do like this crazy life and
No.
Again, I wake up at 6:30 every morning to be at work at 7,
Yeah.
hmm
and I'm not built for days. I'm
yeah,
built for nights. My entire family works nights.
yeah.
I'm definitely an early morning person now, but growing, and I don't know if I think it's because of work, because before I was always like like 11 o'clock in the morning until 3 in
That's how
the,
we are.
3 to 11 would be my sleep, 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. would be my sleep time. if I could
Yes,
choose.
that would be
In
perfect.
spite of a decade waking up at 6:30 every
Still
morning,
off.
Oh gosh.
every weekend, I wake up 9, 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah,
Getting
that's-
up early to go somewhere you don't really want to be. The only reason we work is because we have to. I mean,
And it's
like the way we work. I mean, if we had our own stuff, we would
See, I
be.
don't mind working on stuff.
me either.
Yeah.
I don't even mind working on somebody else's stuff if the goal of that stuff is to be more self-sufficient. So that's like, we have our 5-year plan of getting stuff paid down to a point where we can start taking cuts.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
retirement's not going to be a thing when we hit it.
No.
But if we have our lovely homestead where it's making its own money and we don't really need much money because we're providing the majority of our own needs, because again, self-sufficiency in today's day and age is a myth. We're
Right.
not gonna be able
Yeah.
to be completely
That's
self-sufficient.
true.
We're going to have to buy a
Providing-
pipe sometime to fix a pipe. We're going to have to buy
Exactly.
wood to fix something in the wood. Or there's going to be things we'll have to do.
But
2 rabbits.
we
Whoop, whoop.
can provide 90% of our
Mhm.
own stuff, and that 10%, is going to be paid for by the stuff we're doing.
Yard work.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is stressful, and you just feel
I love yard work.
connected.
I have
I
the
think.
energy to do yard work.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's the same for me. Like when we were doing that front garden, which we're going to go back to doing it. Especially if we end up snowbirding a bit, then we still want to have some stuff here. and I really love doing that. But it was when I took the week off of work. That's when I did it all because I was like, this is nice. But with work and being away, I'm like, fuck this.
Too tired.
Oh, my mom was saying she worked as a nurse for 40 years, get up at 4:30 and working 12 to 18-hour shifts. So glad done with that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
My mom does the same thing, but she works night shift. Oh no.
Yeah.
She was always telling me, "Oh, you're smart enough to be a doctor." I said, "No,
Fuck no.
I'm too lazy for that."
Yeah, you might be smart enough, but being a doctor is one of those that kind of requires a calling to go with it.
Yeah.
Well, not only
I don't
that,
have
but you would have like to me the many people I think are smart enough to be it, but we're too smart to be it because the amount of energy that would take
And the time.
away from now. Yeah,
For
you're right. It
other
has to be your
people's-
calling.
Other
too lazy
people's
for that.
lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Medical work like that is kind of like the priest or priestesshood. It has
full
to be a
devotion.
calling to it, not just it's gonna make me money.
Yeah, full devotion.
Yeah. Because it is your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It can't be, oh, you were born female and don't want to marry anybody, so you join a convent.
Yeah.
Right.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, but up until about 100 years ago, that's the way it was, and it's still like that in some countries.
Where do I pleasure house sitter while y'all snowbird? Application accepted.
Yeah, we already talked. You don't know yet that you're in the plan. So
I told her a little bit
Did
a
you?
couple days
Oh, there's plenty of
Friday.
people who are in the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aware of it,
Yeah.
So it's okay.
because the other thing that kind of keeping a Florida base for us does is we can decide whether that 6 months in a day is here or there based on what the rules are that we need to do to get stuff we may need to get.
Exactly.
So we are looking to sell the land, I think, at this point to kind of see what we get.
To
But
go towards
the-
that.
yeah,
I'm still saying a bit
Wisconsin.
high.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it up
That's
for like
excessively high.
put it up for like 200,
Oh, yeah.
250, and
You
then
could probably
take
get
what,
it.
Yep, you can probably get it, and if you can't, take the highest bidder.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do with the house once the repairs are done. I'm gonna be putting that up for 400, and I'll probably get it in that area, especially seeing as we have the half acre and everything.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have a nice lot.
Yep.
A good size.
So,
yep. So that's,
Yeah, the next several months are going to be pretty the place up,
and purge the hell out of all of our stuff that we
Yep.
don't need.
yeah. The joys and the way this fits into the homesteading and to the pagan lifestyle is when you do work the land and have the result for the thing that you're working to. That's the mixing of your mundane and your magic. That's your
Yep.
fire. That's the creativity or creation of.
And the whole
What sustains you.
homestead is going to be based around that principle
Yeah.
of
Just
reciprocity with
reconnecting.
the land,
Yeah.
and
That's funny. That's the next thing. About living in harmony with the land.
Mm-hmm.
Organic cleaning and personal care products that won't pollute the water table. Hang laundry instead of toss it in a machine. Pull weeds versus spraying chemicals. I might still use the vinegar, some y'all.
Yeah,
Just
that's all right.
saying.
That's vinegar.
Vinegar?
You can make vinegar at home.
We're trying, but I can't get the mother started over and over. It keeps missing out somehow.
Yeah, of course, I can think of several other things you can make at home that are more dangerous than vinegar.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Shh.
we won't get into that. Right?
Yeah, and we're not like this whole thing for us. The idea of prepping and homesteading and guns has never been about like screw the government. It's
No,
No,
we want to
it's-
do
I
our
wanna
own
do it for
thing.
me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to be able to wake up in the morning. My personal dream is wake up in the morning, throw some food at animals.
What are you doing?
Didn't you want some more? The rosé?
Oh, you're bringing it out.
Is that what you were
That would be
Yes.
passing it to me? And then it says to leave a portion of your land
Untouched.
untouched for the natural
The biggest part.
pollinators.
nice. And we're leaving the largest one.
The largest
would-
part.
yeah,
And
we
we're
would
also
do
going
that.
to have a native pollinator garden
Yeah.
that is around the garden and the bees, so that you draw
Yeah.
them in.
But my personal dream is wake up in the morning, throw some food at some animals, then go into my blacksmith shop
Yep.
Mhm.
and be able to actually blacksmith more than 2 weeks out of the year.
Yeah, and then like for us, it's the same thing. But while you go in
Very
blacksmith, we
close.
might be like, look, we need this worked on. Can you help
Yeah.
us out with this? Well,
Exactly,
and
that's
what
the
what
thing.
can we do for you? Or can we add a building or something? Whatever.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of the same idea.
Or if I'm feeling like it, go run off into the woods for
Yeah, bring
several
some
days
game
at a
in.
time and kill something.
Yeah. Your mom is talking about Laura doing her prepping and homesteading things
Oh,
that she's been doing
cool.
for quite a few years. But yeah, that's been a big piece of it for a long time.
Mhm.
Is You know, being able to adjust and change and do this, because this is, I'm not gonna lie, I love Florida. I love this house. I love people we've met down here. Don't like change. I like the freedoms, but none of it balances out
No.
when you look at what we're losing versus what we could have.
We're
Just
overcrowded.
because, yep, it's a fear of change, and it's a. But you know what? We made it here from Virginia.
I'm not doing the fear. I'm taking that full sleep of faith here. We're just gonna fucking do it. Because we could sit here and go back and forth of, oh, this and that, but no, I'm just gonna take the jump and it's gonna work. Because I'm gonna make it work.
Yep.
That's basically how we did the jump from Rhode Island
To here again, that was a big jump.
Yeah.
Too. I'm like, man, I'll go and live in a fucking tent for a while. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, like I said, for us, you know, and you know, we'll talk about it, but there's other ways you can do things, because in the end, we're not gonna really. You couldn't even not spill your drink.
I didn't even notice. What a surprise.
But yeah, like I'm always telling her, since we started this whole thing, I'm gonna miss having palm trees in my front yard.
Yeah, but
That's my favorite thing of living here in Florida after growing up in Rhode Island.
Well, look, we can make a whatchamacallit this high and have small palm, like these short palms.
I agree
And
with
if
you. I'm
they-
gonna miss palm
And if it's
trees.
180 square foot largest property, well, let's put 10 of them in a row.
I'm gonna miss not freezing my butt off every time I step up.
Right after I won the lotto.
Okay.
I'm glad you won, though.
Yeah. Is this, what's her name? Piggy? No.
Pippi.
Oh, Pippi. Pippi.
You just have to push straight. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pain. That's okay.
And if it doesn't lock, we're okay
That's
with it.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sage, come here.
There it goes.
We're still on the thing, so show later, okay?
Or from right here.
Oh,
Perfect.
Okay.
Very good.
Cool. That's Pippi.
And that's for winning. What level?
Yeah.
This is a different thing. This is just a picture.
Oh, did you
That's
draw that?
cool.
No, but I do have my own picture of Pippi.
You'll have to show us
Yeah.
later.
After we're done.
Yep.
We're almost done,
Cool.
actually.
Yeah, we won't be too
Yeah.
much longer,
Yeah.
so.
But
Make your own household items. Carve utensils like spoons and cooking implements.
I intend to blacksmith all of that.
And we'll have
Fire pottery for plates and bowls.
That
We're getting that
might
replaced.
also be a
Arrows and fish traps. That one. I'm all pointing to Steve, but arrows and fish traps. Weaving a basket, building a farm or chicken coop
yes.
or dwelling.
And,
so
and doing these things before we are unable to at age,
yes.
right? That's the thing that scares me.
I have a great idea for the sweat lodge. We're gonna do a cordwood hobbit house. Like,
Oh, I like
Build
that.
it into the ground.
Yeah, for the sweat lodge.
Well, that's how the
That's
shooting range is going to be too.
cool.
I want it to kind of go down into the earth so
Yeah.
that we don't have the chance of hitting people.
Yes.
Yes, that.
And then building sound
perfect.
baffling to quiet. But yeah,
That sounds perfect.
yeah. But there's all these things that you can do, and there's no way we'd ever run out of land.
No.
Like, not possible.
No, because we're not gonna go ridiculously big because that defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
We want a
But I mean, even if
small-
you did, like, you literally, I agree with you 1,000, but I'm just saying, if you used half the other, you'd still have 50 acres of untouched land, but still, that's not the point.
Yeah.
Work with textiles, learn to sew, to make clothing and other basics like sheets, towels, blankets, etc. Reuse as much as possible. Learn to use leftovers, learn to use leftovers, torn scraps, and broken items in creative ways so that very little goes to waste.
Yep.
Use scraps from meals to make soup stock. Learn to darn socks and mend clothing. Transform worn out cotton and clothes
Beachy.
into handkerchiefs, and save other fabric bits for quilts and rugs. Save candle butts to melt down and remake.
And we do some of that now in
Yeah.
our house, but it's so much harder. Again, with him having to work all the time
Exactly.
and all that.
At the temperatures hit 90
Yeah.
degrees
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
with a
once-
2,000 degree forge burning all the
Yeah.
Oh,
time.
God.
Like once we're out into the cooler woods, and he's gonna be probably mostly home, and we're working on land. Doing all that reusing and repurposing is gonna be so much easier. Because we do a lot of it now, but like we could definitely do more once we have more
Oh, yeah.
actual time to do it.
Beachy.
Again, recycle cans and such
Yep.
is actually excessively easy. Like soda cans.
Yep.
All you gotta do is crush them up, put them in the fire, and they melt at such a low temperature you can make aluminum anything.
Whatever you want.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's the ultimate thing is, because looking at what your mom put about looking forward to being in Florida, where you're not caring for all that land and all the stuff you have to do. Like that's the thing that makes it difficult is that's one person doing all that versus a group doing slightly different things periodically.
Again, the people will be responsible for their 5 acres if they're physically able. If not, the group pitches in to help them do it.
Yeah, and the other thing that I was thinking about too, and we'll talk about this offline, is I think there was topography changes in this land.
Yes.
I really think we should, if we don't have one, mark off or build or have a mountain to put Joy at the top of it.
Put what?
Joy.
Joy?
Yeah,
There's
the
a
wise
hill, it's not a
lady.
mountain.
The wise lady at the top of the mountain.
There's a hill, it's not a mountain, but it'll work. And yeah, we can make our little.
That's
hermit
cool.
The little hut at the top.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Just yeah, and then so when you do tours and stuff, we can walk. I'm kidding.
Oh, it would be. They had in the Middle Ages the garden druid. That would be out
Yeah.
in this little shack in the garden when you had tours come.
Yes.
They'd come out and give advice. That would be
Yes,
awesome.
and that was their only job.
Yes, that was
That's
their
what they
only job.
did.
Yep.
Yeah,
That was what we talked about. That
we saw that on something fairly recently.
I
yeah.
would be that person.
Joy would be the perfect
Oh,
garden
I'd do
druid.
that too if she didn't.
We'd all do it. Yeah, take turns.
Yep.
It's terrible.
After I get my bear, I'll be in the bear cloak and the. I'm hunting a bear. I've already decided.
My dream coat is gonna be a deer rabbit hybrid.
I don't know that I
Yeah,
could
rabbit.
again, like doing the hunting thing. But if you brought it back, I could help work the meat and the result.
I can hunt. I
That's
don't got
part
a
of the
problem
plan
with
is I'm
Because,
gonna
I mean, one
pull
day
back the
that-
meat and
One
everybody's gonna take a cut of the meat.
one bear and one deer. I mean, that would be for quite a few people for a good
And
portion
they
of
have
the winter.
mule deer there, which are bigger than the whitetails, and then they also have elk and occasional moose, but I don't think you're allowed to hunt the moose yet because there's so few there still. They got wolves,
Hey, wolves.
coyotes.
I'll have fun with the wolves. I'm gonna pet the puppies.
Be careful when you pet the puppies.
Please.
The puppies.
No, the puppies love it.
But yeah, and I like there's so many options. But the thing is, I guess that really comes out of homesteading is the and kind of the reason we brought it up as a pagan topic is the ability for whatever way you can to be close. Like even with us, before we even thought about this, we're figuring ways that we can feed ourselves with the land here. Like I don't even know the pineapples, how to tell the rate. This pineapple up here is stunted and it looks gray and dusky. Is it dying?
No, it's little. They take
See?
quite a while to get to ripen, and when they're ripe, they'll be like the same yellow as that stripe in your shirt, and then you eat it.
Oh.
And like our property, we have half of the yard just forest. We don't touch it. I mean,
Yeah.
we put up
Obstacle course and
forest-friendly obstacle course.
yeah, but we.
That's cool.
It's
Yeah.
for the animals basically.
Yeah, none of what we put up in there harms the trees in any way, shape,
Yeah.
or form. It's just a strap put around the tree that can
It's
easily
padded.
be loosened
Yeah.
and padded. And
I mean, those are the things that you'd want to do. Like that's what drives you to it. That's that whole getting back to the land and using the land as much as you can, but providing back to it by not overuse and by, you know, doing things that are appropriate. So design and layout are a big thing. Like how you create things and. Like for me, the way I picture homes is just not something that juts out and looks like this. Like we've gotten rid of all the trees here. This is going to be a terrible. If a hurricane comes through here again,
You know?
terrible.
That's what I want to do. Like we were talking about, you know, building around. Like I would love to find a giant ass tree in this property where we want to put the temple and
Build
build the
around it.
temple around the tree, and you know stuff like that.
It's been done before.
It has, and that's what I'd love to do.
I like the idea of the Latin style homes where the atrium in the center was just
Open?
yeah.
Yeah.
So you just it's like a central courtyard, but it had troughs at the bottom. And that's where they collected water. That's their bathing water.
Oh.
and that's also how a lot of Japanese houses were
The
set up
compounds
too.
especially.
That's smart.
You build the compound around the central courtyard.
Yeah, I don't know that we'll be able to do that unless we want to take a lot of time building. But we could do that for the public areas.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
have the temple and the classroom and the longhouse all set around a central courtyard that would be
Mm-hmm.
food and pollinator flowers that are native, and have that be again another touring area to go through and do classes in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
God, that'd be so nice.
We've been planning on it.
So I think we're getting to it's 12 o'clock.
Yeah, I think we're.
Oh, that was fast.
It is fast.
Good.
Yeah, trying to keep it limited to an hour, kind of like make sure we don't do too much. So, but we will do tarot if anybody wants. Want to do tarot? Want to do tarot?
I will if people want.
You will.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want to.
I didn't say that.
All right. So we have more decks inside. If you want to use a deck to pull cards, if you want to pull some cards, this is Midnight Matt. Yes. Mushroom deck.
Ah.
I'm going to use the Bonefire, and Brad, your
Let me
SOL.
see.
You
I
have to
will.
go find you a
I will
deck.
go
I
find
don't
one.
do tarot
Yeah,
anyway.
he's not a tarot person, so.
I'm not a big divinity.
Are you hot, Beach? You wanna come in?
Yeah, let her in. This is a very interesting tarot.
She's like, no, we'll be out here with the people.
All right, we got Susie Chin already. Okay. They should be all right by now.
I hear her singing, I want to be
I want to see him dancing. All right, Susie Chen is first on the list
Oh, I hear chihuahuas.
for a general. Who else? Mystic Manny. Yep. Shar with a general. Tabby with a general. We got 4. Anybody else? Ziggy probably has his own listen mode and she can't get to the computer quick enough to say she wants one. But if you want one, Zig, speak up so I can put you on the list. I have another, like literally I told Joy, I said, Joy, I'll get you a copy of this deck if you want it. She took my deck. Like she just grabbed it and says, okay. She picked it up and put it in her bag. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm getting another one.
Which deck was that? That one?
That one.
That one?
Uh-huh. I love it.
I need a copy of this one eventually too, but we are in a no buying mode except for essentials
Yep.
for a while is what we're doing.
I'm not even. If I see something free on the side of the road that looks like it would be useful, I'm not even grabbing it.
No.
Hey, that's control. We did the same thing starting last week. We have a few things that we needed to get done. We had to pay for the yard, the sprinkler, because that's got to work to sell the house, if we do. But regardless, like we went on total barred. So every extra penny we have now is going to pay off the cars, because we want no other extraneous bills when we transition.
That's what we're going to do. Like I'm hoping.
I'm afraid.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I'm afraid the housing might bust a little bit before we go, and then we won't get as much out of it. I'm a
not
little
worried
worried.
about that when we go, just because they're building that Sunseeker freaking resort right
that's
next
true,
to us,
too.
and they're building a stadium in Northport. So our housing prices are going to go through the roof once those things are built. So I'm not worried about the housing market crashing for us, but down here.
So speaking of decks, Ziggy says she accidentally bought a new one. Which one, Ziggy? And how did that happen accidentally?
She accidentally hit buy.
How do you accidentally?
Murder of Crows.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Oh.
Do you have that one, Brad?
I don't have that one, I don't think.
I love that. A Murder of Crows.
I hear woofing, but I don't see
A Congress of Baboons. Nutella! Nutella's
Fluffle
here.
bunnies.
That's Manny's friend.
Oh, and she always looks so concerned.
VG, stop trying to bite her
She
neck.
does.
My favorite animal grouping is the Fluffalo bunnies,
Fluffalo bunnies.
run by Don Fluffles.
I don't know. I also like the bowl of spoonbills.
I really like the idea of having a barn called the horse house, right?
The
Yeah.
Horror's House.
Horse house.
Where-
horses?
H-O-R-Z-E.
Yeah, Boar's house.
What did we think of the other one? Like we saw it on there. We're like, we're gonna name the tavern. Remember?
Can't remember.
We'll figure it out.
It was so nice. Cause I picture one of those like the truly like 50-seat long table.
With the kitchen on this side, with all the storage, and then the tavern on this side.
Up, and then it can be opened up
Yep.
if it's outside if
Well,
we
what
need
I'm
to.
thinking is we have 2 solid walls for the kitchen side and the tavern, and then canvas that we can pull down on
Exactly
the other
what we were
2
talking about.
sides.
Yeah.
If the weather is not pleasant.
Because all we need is to reduce the wind. Because the freaking as cold as it gets, we're gonna have hot
and a nice fireplace.
wood
in
stove
there.
or fireplace in every one. Yeah, I would think. I love that. When are we doing it? Like,
Now, we're doing it now.
I want to quit.
I do too.
I can't.
You can't. Not yet.
But I'm gonna call the guy again on Monday to get some more info, and but I think that one seems like perfect for what we want to do.
Good. I'll be in Chicago in 2 weeks. I wonder if I could drive up. It's like a 6-hour drive from Chicago.
It's up there.
Mm.
We'll check it out. But yeah, because and we're probably gonna want to move on it if we can quickly, because
I have nothing but bad memories of Chicago.
Chicago.
That's my first time ever.
I
being
didn't
there.
enjoy it there much when I was there for the Navy.
I was gonna
I'm
say
not good.
boot camp,
Yeah.
driving a big truck through.
Yeah.
Every time I've been to Chicago, it's been something.
I mean, like, it wasn't fun. Like,
Susan-
Oh,
not
what was
fun.
your MLS in the Navy?
I was a corpsman.
Corpsman?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was an MP, but got kicked out in boot camp.
Medical.
Uncharacterized discharge. Like, so they just we threw the gate card down, and got out
Oh, God.
because it was illegal then.
yes.
Yes.
Yes, that was fun.
I-
Could you
I was
imagine me
young.
going into the military with Rachel?
Ah. No, I can't. So I went there to Great Lakes for boot camp, and then A school for corpsman training, and then San Diego for I went to OR Tech school.
Yeah.
So,
I went to Chicago for boot camp, and then Fort Lost in the Woods,
Fort
Missouri.
Leonard Woods.
ooh,
That's where I was assigned. Where they
And-
run you around in circles for like 10 hours and then say like we're in some other country. At least
Oh,
that's
you
what they
were
did to us.
Army. You were
I was Army, yeah.
You were the F student.
Yes. Yes, I was.
I actually liked Fort Leonard Wood. I got my first tattoo in St. James.
That's cool.
Hi, little puppers.
Susie is first.
She a general. Do we need to?
All of them are generals.
General. Susie's first.
All
Did
right.
you get Ziggy on your list?
I
What
did.
does Susie need to know?
I did. I think I got everybody. We have 5 people on the list and 5 people concurrent. So,
What does Susie need to know?
what does Susie need to know? All right. Let's see what the Bonfire Tarot says.
What the Light Seers Tarot and what the Midnight Magic says.
Oh, the Empress.
Oh, that's a cool one.
This is a very, very good first card to start out. The Empress is the
Pretty.
representation. I know you can't see it. That's way
I'm gonna
too
hold
far.
it up there. Just give me a minute.
Ugh. Yeah. So the Empress is the embodiment of all things feminine. It means a period of abundance is coming your way. This is a really good card to kind of pull and to think about when you're trying to figure things out of where your next meal is going to come from, where your next thing is going to come from. But something in life is going to be very abundant for you and it's going to grow and develop to a positive outcome.
All right. The Light Seer
Hi.
has for you Ace of Wands. I can't say that word.
You said it.
As you see, she's got you see a picture of the fire in her mind. This is about passion, maybe something new. And you need to go and work towards that. Whatever, if there's a new hobby, a
Lovely.
new interest you have, the Ace of Wands is telling you to keep that flame bright and really go for it and focus on that. Don't worry that you don't have experience with it, but it's more about a passion thing and something that you're passionate about, and whether it's a hobby, a job, whatever, to keep that flame bright and go for it.
And the Ace of Wands is a really strong fire card to go along with the Empress. It's all about the growth and the forwardness.
I resonate with fire cards as a Sagittarius.
So I got the Ten of Wands for the last card
Got a
here.
lot of wands.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you want to do the Ten of Wands? I don't know what else that was.
I can if you want. Yeah. So the Ten of Wands is we're still in that element of fire, right? And so the 10 is the representation of the end all be all of wands. It's the culmination of the fiery event. And as the third card, I would say the abundance that the Empress talks about and the creativity and fire of the Ace of Wands, followed by the Ten of Wands, is really talking about some creative energy. Maybe your next job or the next thing that makes you money is going to be on a creative level, right? Versus
My house sitting job worked out for me.
probably.
I would say it's a new idea and to go for it.
I would
based
say
on my card.
probably wouldn't be fired.
Yeah, probably wouldn't be fired.
doesn't seem like it would be an overwhelmingly difficult job either.
No. And the Ten of Wands means fulfillment of that creative endeavor, but the problem is what's the time frame and what's the process going to do, how long it's going to take, and what is actually going to happen, because I didn't see any. The wands are also career cards, by the way. So getting 2 out of 3, you've got a career in like a job part of this. The problem is I didn't see any pentacles, so that means
Tender
there's probably
moments.
no financial gain.
Her new job is Tender
We
Moments.
have a joke that we go by the Tender Moment Strip Club, and that's where she's going to work.
Sorry.
Lord of mercy. Benny, I'm going to hold you like a baby.
We hope that was helpful insight
Hi,
from
Bubby.
Ms. Susie Chen.
He likes wine, by the way.
Yes,
Your
he
tarot
does.
deck is full of VG hair now, just so you know.
Ah, that's normal.
It's blessing. Those
Everything-
are really cool cards.
I know they are. That's why I'm using
I
them.
think I shall get me one one day.
Bone Fire.
Fire.
Mystic Manny is up next.
All right.
So,
what is
what?
General? What does Mystic Manny need
Just
to know?
another Mystic Manny.
Oh.
I don't know where to go from there.
I don't either. Ma petite.
I'm trying to pick her up, but she like claws me and then she runs away.
That's what she does to us too, so it's not you.
Ma petite.
Well, Manny, your first card is the 3 of Swords. Ma, hey,
Ma petite.
what are you running from?
He got up out of his chair and I'm scared. He viciously scared me.
Oh, she likes you. She's not even growling. She just doesn't like him.
He's too tall for you right now.
Hey, run in the shadows. Yeah, I remember. I'm glad you're back. Oh, sorry, back to the cards. 3 of Swords. I think you know what the 3 of Swords means.
Oh, hey, Joe.
Yeah, the 3 of Swords generally represents what many people say is heartache, but in some of the other decks, I'm starting to learn this new meaning for the 3 of Swords, which means making your decisions work for you and making those hard decisions that could have a very positive outcome for you. In this particular card, this is really pretty. Like, that could be a tattoo, I think.
That is, oh yeah, that's pretty.
In this particular 3 of Swords, you're seeing the
Yeah.
same, traditional imagery of those swords going through the heart. But you're also seeing a big representation of water in here, right? So you're getting a lot of different elements. The thing I want to point out in this one is the anchor. So the 3 of Swords might be telling you it's time to throw your anchor down and stay put for a bit and not make any significant or massive changes, or else you're going to end up with some heartache.
All right, the Lightseer's Tarot has for you the 8 of Pentacles. As you'll see, the party or the subject in the card has a lot of things of abundance in front of her, but she's focused on this little candle flame. So for me, that means it's just a message. Don't lose sight of everything you have and is all that you have in the physical sense. As a pentacle and earth, is it really what's important? Don't forget what you have, but don't lose focus on the things that are more meaningful to you. Look in the picture.
Yeah, and I would throw into that your 8 of Pentacles is often representing of something that you do that is you are masterful at, that you are very, very, very strong at doing. So when you look at those things that are meaningful to you, focus on those things that you've created that like if you do pottery, you're a master potter, focus on that as part of your process. We got mead next.
Oh, mead next. Yeah, mead. And we already know how to make mead
Shut up,
for our area. We'll have plenty of mead. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Talking.
I got the Page of Cups for you.
Ooh.
And I'll let Ryan go
Page
over
of
here.
Cups. Yeah, the Page of Cups is really, now, if you know me when I read, I usually think of like the court cards as people. It can represent you or somebody else in your life. But the Page of Cups is talking about you going on, I think you, in this, because we're kind of including these other cards that we have. If we're in 3 of Hearts, this is all about you. The 8 of Pentacles, this is all about you. So the Page of Cups is going to be all about you. So you're getting ready to work on something, and it's going to really give you some excitement and really fun that you want to do, but it's going to be a lot of work. Because remember, the page is just stepping into it. It's like, it's kind of like, who do I want to be? And you've decided who you want to be, but now you got to put the work in, but you're really excited doing it, but you still have to learn how to do what it is you want to do. So in order to get that emotional fulfillment from the cups, you're going to start something new that you're going to have to work on becoming the knight and then the queen and then the king. So you haven't got to those levels in this area yet, but that is where you're going to start. So I'm thinking when we put together the 3 and the 8 and the 10, you have a forward movement. The 3 being the first card is maybe this is already causing you a little bit of uncertainty and difficulty in whatever this is, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of interesting. Maybe you're doing a new hobby or something that you actually really enjoy, but you really don't know how to do it yet, and you're starting it.
A lot of work.
So
bro.
that's
I'm not gonna lie, the whole
Yes.
thing sounds like a ADHD hyper-focus moment.
Yeah, I could definitely see
Get
that.
really excited about
Yeah.
So,
Well, you
a new
think
project
if your 8 of Tentacles is what traditionally is the Masterwork card, which means I am the master of something, and you're seeking that mastery. But maybe it's saying, because you're moving to the page, it's time to try something different or change. Maybe you're going to start a new version of that thing and go from that. But that's, to me, what I get out of a page.
And of course, Queen Ziggy will do a read for your buster.
Your who?
Buster.
Oh, I thought we were going to be reading her bust. That was a little uncomfortable.
I don't know.
I mean,
how
I
to read.
would.
Try to use that for a
I've
form
never-
of reading.
I
I
can't
mean, I
imagine.
guess you could with
You
veins
could.
and all
With
Yeah.
veins and the
freckles and
yeah.
I mean, I just,
because
it's
your
what he
nipples
says.
Best.
point left or right.
Your ears hang low, they wobble to and fro. Can you tie them in a knot? Can you sling them over your back? Manny, I am so
Who's
sorry
next?
you have to be a part of this.
He's learning a new
I've
mastery.
done it.
Cool.
Yes. But-
I've done that with stucco.
Stucco.
Never bust.
Never
Never
bust.
bust.
Yes, the learning the new mastery is what I'm getting out of that. And the thing is you're just thinking about it and starting it out,
Hey,
and you haven't done
Melvin.
any of the work, which is going to be the hard part. Melvin,
Oh, these poor people.
author of So Strange Times, has
Yes.
come in.
Yes. Yes.
I
Very-
watched his show for a little bit last night until I passed the house.
I always I literally get, oh, Melvin's on it, turn it on, and I literally 5 minutes am out.
Not because of
you,
Melvin.
Because it's late.
Because I've been
Yeah.
getting up at like 4 in the morning,
Mhm.
So,
Who
No judge.
are we pulling for now?
Shaw,
All right.
who are you?
That is a question that cannot be answered.
Cannot be answered.
That is a
7 of
question I-
Swords. This is
that is a
freaking
question
neat.
I often lie about a lot.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so we're going to start with the 7 of Swords, Shar, and I hate to do this to you because the 7 of Swords is truly an anxiety card. You have made a decision, and you either regret it or you are so unsure about that decision that it's causing you a lot of grief and anxiety. There's so much going on in here, but the thing is, the 7 of Swords is kind of like that last dip before you get into the last piece of whatever this situation is for you. And because you're feeling anxious, it's going to make it worse and worse and worse. So the decision is made. You really can't change it. What you can do, though, is you can adjust it, because the card after the 7 of Swords is the 8 of Swords. Wow, that's pretty makes sense, doesn't it? 8 comes after 7.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Are you sure? You're sure?
But if you were to progress to the 8 of Swords, what that's going to tell you is it's okay to revise your work. So it's important to know what comes before and what comes after. So your 7 is giving you anxiety. Something is bothering you. You feel like it's not working out how you want to, and it's upsetting. And you feel like you might have made the wrong decision, and maybe you did. But just remember, the next card allows you to make a change. Now, I already see Rook's card, and you have another 7 coming.
Another
so that
7
is going to say a lot about where you are in the group right now, because it's you're in a very precarious situation.
So this just tells me, as you see the picture, I love this deck, the Light Seers deck. This guy, 7 of Cups, he's a little unsure, surrounded by water. Emotionally, there could be things going on, but it's it's something hidden. You see, there's a snake coming out from under one of the bowls. So if you're feeling like something's kind of off, it's telling me to pay attention. Don't get caught up in the confusing parts from an emotional basis, but just be aware of what's going on. And it's okay to hesitate. If you don't feel right about something, trust your intuition and look out for the snake or the thing that's hidden. Just be
Nutella.
aware.
Snake does often represent secrets in symbology, like it's a secret thing or something that's hidden, but it also represents the strength of deciding to do the right thing in the face of the wrong thing. So it also represents being able to move despite all things pushing against you, because the snake doesn't have legs or feet yet. It can move pretty fast when it needs to.
It's rebirth too.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Rebirth. Afterbirth.
The shedding
We need
of
to
the
do-
skin,
ah.
it's rebirth.
We need to do a whole thing on symbols.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alright, so I got judgment.
Oh, it kind of goes along with things. Yeah.
Sound like you had something really big to go along with that, and you just kind of let it go in the middle.
It goes along with things.
Judgment is a really, to me, it's a really good card. It's different than balance, because balance is about things being balanced, and temperance is about actively malleating things to make them something else. I always talk about temperance being the swordsmith, right? You temper the sword in the forge, and you make it from what it was. You melt it into something, and you make it into something else different. And then justice as getting the thing that you deserve, or getting the things where things are balanced. Judgment is different. Judgment means you are going up to get a final decision on something. Judgment does often actually come up when there is a legal issue, or when there is somebody who maybe has done something to you where it has caused you undue stress that you should get compensation for. So, but it's definitely, to me, with the other cards that we have, that computer looks like it's bent. I think the metal is bent a little bit.
Is it?
Anyway, maybe it's my eyes. I don't know.
Maybe it's the contacts. The progressive contacts.
But judgment is not the kind of judgment that we think of when we're like judging people. Judgment means discernment in the tarot for me. So there's something that needs to have some discernment. She is really shedding. And I think that's going to be important for you, because you have all these other stressors and anxieties around it that you're going to have to use some discernment to really figure out what to go for the next step. So I hope that gives you a little bit of something to go off of, Shar. If not, let us know. We can always pull a clarifying card if anybody wants to.
Yeah, who's next?
Tabby is next.
Tabby. I like that name.
Me and Tabby had a fun time talking for like 6 hours.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
So you know Tabby?
You
Okay.
say, oh, cool.
I didn't know. The gun was loaded, and I'm so sorry.
I just thought of
my
a new
friend.
idea for a short. Guns and Tarot. Where we discuss a particular gun, ammo, or topic and do tarot.
No.
I don't know
am
that
really
many
good
of
at
this
words
group would
and
take
things.
off.
I'm really good at that. It's called tactical tarot.
Oh, tactical
There you
tarot.
go.
Oh, would guns and tarot get us banned?
No.
Maybe.
Mm-mm.
I enjoy seeing temperance as a type of alchemist and learning to mix, match, leaving that comfort zone and get messy.
Yes,
Woo!
absolutely. Unexplained. That is a really great way to put it, and I'm going to steal that.
We're on Tabby.
But my head has always gone to the forge because you temper steel, you temper stuff. And it never is the thing that it was, and it never will be the thing that it was, but you could actually melt it down and remake the exact same thing that it was, but it's still something different. So that is alchemy, right?
We're on Tabby.
I'm aware. Yo! Tabby. Okay. Let's get some cards for Tabby.
Guns and tarot coming soon.
Tactical tarot.
Tactical tarot.
Is that where we take the guns and
Steal
try to shoot
away.
people?
Ooh, yeah,
Yes.
I like that.
Whatever card you hit.
I need to make or get a target that has tarot cards on it.
We need to do a tactical themed tarot deck. That would be cool.
That
A
would be cool.
gun themed
That would
tarot
be
deck.
really cool.
I still want to do the tarot deck.
The terror.
The tarot deck.
The terror deck.
Just
That
for the
would be
record,
so
if anybody
freaking
steals
cool.
any of those, we're copywriting all that right now. We have an LLC and we will sue you.
That's not true.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
we
is.
do have an
we
LLC.
do have an
but we will
LLC.
not sue you.
I might.
Okay, Dragon might.
Just like the horse house.
At the horse house.
I love that.
That's
Um,
mine, I came up with it.
Horse nerves.
No, they're
What
horsey
was-
We
nerves.
serve.
Just like Des Moines as Ohio.
I needed this today.
What was I gonna say?
Oh no.
What is the name of the frickin' tavern?
I
I'm
don't
so
remember.
mad.
My mind's a blank.
You'll remember it eventually. Just
Anyway.
don't think about it, it'll come to you.
Tactical tarot coming your way. We need to put our first one out
Deck.
soon.
Woo, woo. That would be cool. This tab I need to know.
The Ace of Wands would be the Kalishnikov.
I'm loving those
AK-47.
freaking things.
All right, so King of Swords is your first card, Tabby.
Ooh, I got a
As
sword
many
too.
people know, my
Be a rocket launcher.
yeah, ooh,
Yeah.
as many people know, like for me, the Kings are very strong cards, but they're not the epitome of the energy. They tend to be like a little bit over the energy, right? So sometimes it can go a little bit too far, but that'll be dependent upon the other cards. I can already see your next card. That's not okay. It's going to be a rough road, Tabby,
Yeah.
on that part. So whatever's in your mind right at this moment, or in the last
show the card.
10 or 15 minutes, the King of Swords is coming in and telling you you have to stop trying to do too many things at one time and focus on just one. So the King of Swords is saying you can put things in a row, you can organize things in a row, but your brain cannot focus on that many things in a row. King of Swords is one of my close to my heart cards because it represents the inability to multitask, because even though you technically can do more than one thing at once, you're not giving 100% attention to those things. So ultimately, maybe you feel poorly about the outcome of one of those things because you're letting something slide because you're doing something else, right? So I would say in this particular read, pick one or two things that are very meaningful to you and stay focused on them, because your next card is going to give you a little bit of trouble. And if you don't, you're going to lose out on multiple things at once.
Get your ducks in a row and pick your favorite.
Yeah, get your ducks in a
Yeah.
row, pick your favorite, and the rest of the ducks will be fine. But don't worry about the rest of the ducks right now. Just focus on the two you really want to do that you really like, and do that. Because trying to focus on all 10 ducks, you're going to lose all 10 ducks. This way, you're going to keep all of them because your two that you're going to pay attention to are going to be around, and they're going to help manage the rest of the ducks. How did I get on? You got me on the ducks.
We're gonna have ducks on our homestead.
I love ducks.
5 of Swords. So in this picture, you've got some birds flying around. One is dead. One of these ideas and these confusing, conflicting things is DOA, dead on arrival. Let it go. The other stuff, there's another one that's just like screaming at you, screaming at you, screaming at you. If it doesn't resonate with you, kind of like
Getting finished to that.
Mystic said, let it go. You can't focus on 10 things at once. If you know something is not a possibility, don't stress yourself about it. Rule that idea out and try to whittle it down to what's really important. And just remember, sometimes the loudest thing or the one that sticks out the most isn't the right one, but sometimes it is. You have to trust your intuition and weed out or filter out all the BS.
Quack, quack. That's funny. Finn's the only one that's not panting, so
Aww.
weird thing I'm going to pull off.
Weapon deck, yeah! Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, I'm just-
I got the star for Tabby. So
Okay.
that makes sense.
It really makes sense. The star is the desire to find direction. So if you couple that with what we just went through, there's a desire to find direction or a need to find direction on how to go to the next step. So this means that same idea, let's say the ducks, right? We still have our ducks, they're still hanging around. We've decided to focus on just a couple of ducks and kind of limit ourselves a little bit. You need a duck master to come and help you with the ducks. I mean, that makes sense, right? You need a duck master. In other words, all things aside, whatever it is you're doing, just try not to do too many things at once because it's going to make it worse. Limit yourself to the things and think about what's really enjoyable, what you really want to and need to do that's going to give you the most, that's going to fit with you. And you need somebody to help drive you through that. Don't worry about doing it on your own and be like, well, I have to do this on my own. It's my own little thing I've got to figure out. It's not. The star says you should be working with somebody that's giving you the direction like the North Star would give to a lost sailor. So find that, allow somebody to give you some direction in those things and take it at heart and move through it.
So get that duck that'll slap you in the face and tell you you're doing too much.
Get the duck that says no.
Aflac. Oh, I'm sorry. Can we get cited for that?
Probably.
Why am I like thinking?
No is a full sentence,
No.
right? No is a full sentence.
Who are we on now?
I gotta jump.
Ziggy!
Ziggy got a jumper.
Ziggy. Ziggy.
Ziggy got a
Can't you
jumper.
see? Ziggy's got a jumper.
Ziggy got a jumper.
Ziggy, can't you see?
Let's see
Sometimes
what these
Ziggy
cards have to say
mystifies
to
me.
thee.
This is a cool card. I like it.
Ziggy. 10 of coins.
Ooh, she gonna be profitable, girl.
You got 10 coins and they all pennies.
10 curves.
No, I'm kidding. So the 10 of coins is actually a really cool card. It is, again, we're getting a lot of 10s today. These are fulfillment cards. Even, well, except for the swords. The sword's not a fulfillment card. At least not a positive one.
I was gonna say, it's a fulfillment of something.
It's a fulfillment of meh. But the 10 of coins is a true fulfillment card. This is the card that says the things that you've been working on that have been fruitful will continue to support you for a long time. So your process, the things that are in your mind that are working for you, you should keep doing. The 10 of coins is all about, and you can see it in the card, all the flowers have pentacles in the center. They're either yelling at the neighbors or the front door, because we have Amazon probably coming today. I bought a whole bunch of chime candles and stuff. Probably the neighbors, actually. And he's mad that he can't get in there and yell with them.
So you're telling him.
I have a mini dingo. Look, it's me.
I'm a Chichi.
Are you a Chichi dog?
So, 10 of coins, really good card. This is very, very supportive of stability. Maybe some recent things that you've decided to do or amend in the mundane world are going to give you very solid positive forward motion for quite a while. So I would say what your path is right now, what you're doing, keep doing that because it's working for you. It's a positive thing. Yet joining our homestead, that's a positive thing. We need a seamstress, right? We need one of everybody.
Yeah.
That's Finn saying yes. But 10 of coins. I mean, it's really one of those cards along with the 10 of cups and the sun and the magician that says things are working out. Now this is again focused on the mundane, so it's definitely things are going to be stable for you for quite a while, and that's a good thing.
Are you telling him?
You're telling me.
Hey, Bubby. Knight of Knight of stabs.
Sticks.
Knight of sticks. Go for that new thing with
You mad?
reckless abandon. Take it on. Put a lot of energy into it and have fun. There's a new idea, something different you want to try, and don't think, oh, I've never done this before. Do it. Have fun, and don't worry about it if you know what you're doing. Enjoy it.
I got the Queen of Swords.
Ooh. The Queen of Swords.
The Queen of Swords. Oh, so we've gotten lots of swords then, right? We went from what did you have? Did you have a sword?
Nope. Wands.
Okay, so
or
no swords.
Sticks.
Yeah.
Last time was swords.
Yeah.
The last one is a sword.
So we had a pretty good spread then. Queen of Swords. Like I said with the court cards, queens usually represent people. The queen is the top person in the deck for me. I've said that multiple times. It's really important because that is the good balance between all of the other things, and sometimes the king has just gone way too far, right? So if you're in the realm of swords, swords are decision-making cards. They're air, their intuition, their knowledge, their thought process. They're things that we want to do and that we feel, but it's also the ability to expand and grow and move outward. So the Queen of Swords is the queen of things that expand and grow and move outward. So this again is telling me the same thing that the coins are saying. This is a very stable time for you, and that the idea behind the Queen of Swords is that you are the queen of that thing. You are the queen of making that good decision for yourself. Stick with that. Don't let people change your mind. The Queen of Swords cannot have her mind changed. Because she's made the right decision every time. Whenever the Queen of Swords shows up, she knows what she wants, she knows what she's done, she's put things in order, she's made the decisions, and she told the king to sit down and shut up because he's overbearing and stupid. right?
That sounds familiar for
Yeah.
some reason.
So right, so that's where you are. You're in a stable place. Things are managed in a stable place in mundane life. You're making good decisions that are going to have good positive effects for you in the near future. There we are. Now,
We are on
Ziggy's friend.
Ziggy's bestie.
who's Ziggy's bestie?
Do you have a question?
I hope that helps, Ziggy.
Or
Run in the Shadows has a great idea, a weapons deck. It can still be called the Tactical
Yeah.
Tarot. Y'all, I'm telling you, I will sue you. And it would include all of the different types of weapons. Maybe
crossbows.
Guns could be fire.
arrows.
Axes and melee would be earth.
Some more hammers in there.
Uh-huh. Crossbow, what would be water? Slingshots or something, I don't know.
Ooh, listen before you chop off a head. I love it.
Slingshot.
I like that,
Slingshots, crossbow.
Melvin.
Yeah, I like that.
You gotta have a trident in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alright, we're doing it.
Oh.
Dropped. I was clumsy.
The Queen of Swords, yes. She does have the aggressive off with your head, and she's, like I said, she's made her decision. You cannot change it. Like, it is what it is. There's no changing it. I like that too. Listen before you chop off a head. That's a good one. It's probably a good one for any of the
Nice.
queens, because the queens generally have well, maybe the Queen of Wands might be a little much. Like, she might go ahead and chop your head off first.
Run in the Shadows card will be the staff. Oh, someone's blocking me. Oh, can't see. Oh, the staff. The staff. I thought that's what that said. Don't look. I'm a child.
You are a
I
child.
agree. Oh, I
Staff.
am. Yeah.
Oh wait, not staff. Ziggy's friend. That's what I need to
Ziggy's
think.
friend. What does she need to know?
Yes.
Ooh.
That's so
We had a
much.
road in Virginia, where I'm from, in my area, called Shillelagh Road, and it was the road with the most deaths in the state of Virginia,
Nice.
because it literally, the road did this all over the place. I'm like, it was bad. Like, you had to go 5 miles an hour on some of the turns because they were so bad. I'm like, okay, now I know why they call it the Shillelagh Road.
The Shannon. Shillelagh.
They actually made a tactical shillelagh.
They did.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
I saw
I
it
believe
the
it.
other day and I said I want it.
You have to put some like glass weapons in there too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What shows Ziggy's
The
bestie
tactical
need to know?
trombone.
Tactical trombone. No.
Tactical
You
trombone.
could beat somebody to death with a trombone.
You definitely could, but no. That's no. And a blowgun though.
Bow gun. Oh, that's cool.
The Ace of Wands would probably be a Glock.
I like the Glock.
I don't know. We're at the thing. I'm not kidding. We're at the,
See,
I have a whole deck of blank cards
I
to
like-
draw on, but I just can't draw.
I liked your 9mm. I just couldn't, aim it to save my life. Only the blind people could aim it.
Look, it takes a lot of practice, and then when you're
I
done,
did fine with it, and I put my contacts in so I wasn't blind.
Me
Yeah.
and him couldn't hit the
I
target for
couldn't.
anything.
No,
with
we
that gun,
couldn't.
but
We
the
can
Well,
only-
I will say
people hit
this.
it, no problem.
when we go to an indoor range, the distances are 5, 7.5, 10, and 25. Where we were is 25, 50, and 200.
Oh, yeah.
So we were already at the longest that you would normally have for hand. And
Yeah.
handguns are meant for 5 to 10
Yeah.
yards
Yeah.
initially. So we were not
That
in the
close
best.
combat weapon.
And you have to
Yeah.
keep doing it week over week over week. People practice for years before they can. Like yesterday, with the new gun, I center fired almost everything. Like I did really well yesterday. But it was also at 7 yards versus 25. And we've been practicing a lot. Run in the Shadows. You absolutely can get a pool. So the first card, watch it all be stabs.
Okay. Oh god, I would die.
Or wands.
Wands.
He likes his wands. The Four of
Me
Wands.
too.
So this is interesting. Everything in this card is on fire. And look at the top. Like, it really goes along with our pine cone discussion for Beltane. Like, this is the Beltane card. It's got all the pine cones on fire because, as we know, not all of them, but there's a version of pine tree, species of
There's
pine
several.
tree, several, that can only propagate if their pine cones are popped open, right? and that's popped open by severe heat. So the Four of Wands, I don't know if that's supposed to be Thelma and Louise in there, Ziggy's friend, but the Four of Wands to me has always been about that whole really driving a lot of heat and passion, but it's heat and passion with friends and community. It's light everything on fire. So Ziggy's friend is in a space where
Be the light you want to be.
be the light you want to see in the world. It's literally telling you to go out and light things on fire. Okay, that was the wrong way to say it. Not literally saying that.
Okay.
It's not literally saying go out and actually light on fire. It is metaphorically telling you to go out and light everything on fire. So it is, engage, go out, learn new things, have fun with stuff. Don't stay in. Maybe you have a tendency to not go do those things. You need to. You need to go out and ignite the passions and things that are going for you. The Four of Wands only shows up when it's somebody that really needs to step out and go do the thing. Do not light things on fire, actually. Well, I mean, you can. Yeah, light appropriate things on fire. And I'm not saying it's appropriate to light on fire somebody that screwed you over.
Yeah.
Okay, we can't say that either.
Yeah.
Get in trouble.
Okay.
Accurate.
That's something to
Metaphorically.
Metaphorically.
With a letter to your senator.
3 of Cups.
Really? I'm in mid-sentence.
Oh, I
and you still
didn't
go?
know you were done. I'm sorry.
I'll hold it
I was done.
3 of Cups. So a meaningful partnership on an emotional or spiritual level is coming your way or exist. Don't overlook it. Take time to enjoy the power that connection with your tribe or your trio means and what that does for you to calm the craziness of life.
Yeah, the 3 of Cups is all about going out with friends and having a good time without a lot of too much on your mind.
And that might tie nicely to this one that I pulled, which is the Lovers.
Yeah.
There you go. You like the 2 mushrooms there, huh?
Mushrooms.
Badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom. Snake. I didn't know I was the only one that knew what that was. Welcome to the 90s.
We have her friend to blame for that one.
There's another one, There's Badger too. Narwhals, I love that one too. Okay. What was that one?
The Lovers.
The Lovers, thank you. Okay. So Lovers is a major arcana, and you're right. When we go from the 4 of Wands, which is a go out with your friends and set the world on fire, with the 3 of Cups, which is you have to go out with your friends and not overthink things, just enjoy being. And then you add in the Lovers. The Lovers is not always a romantic card, and with this spread, it's not. You've gone 4, 3, 6, 4, 3, 5. I can't remember the number anymore, but I think it's 5. But what you're seeing here is this a need to go out and do things that you're holding yourself back from with people and enjoy yourself and allow yourself to love the things that maybe people think that you shouldn't. Maybe it's family that's holding you back. Oftentimes 4 of Wands does show up when there's a little bit of a family issue. But ultimately, this Lovers for you is not romantic. This Lovers for you is the love of the things that you want to do that you're not doing for some reason. Somebody's holding you back. You're holding you back. Whatever it is, you gotta let it go and you gotta go do the thing. Go do the thing, love the thing, have fun with the thing, but do it with people, do it with a group. I hope that makes sense, because that just kind of flopped out a little bit.
The mushrooms flopped out.
The mushrooms flopped out.
And now they will
For
do
some odd
that.
reason, I just thought of the parody song of Do You Want to Kill the Snowman?
And that just led me to the parody of Shakira's song that goes, whatever,
I
don't
can't
matter.
stop
I could
shaking."
sing about pancake batter.
We're doing
I can't stop shaking my hips.
Run in the Shadows.
Mad TV was the best.
What does Run in the Shadow need to know about
Yes.
the wood?
The Shadow should already know.
Shadow should already know.
The Shadow does already know.
Yes. He does.
The Plant Man does too.
Joe is kind of like the plant man.
Plant
He's
Man.
definitely
Yeah, he is.
He's very outdoorsy man.
Yeah.
I think his best friend is a tree, and that's not in a derogatory manner at all.
My best friend is a tree.
That's actually a really nice thing. Sorry for the noise. It's
They're
summer.
They
It's
mow
been
every
summer in Florida since
Sunday.
February anyway.
It has.
It's Florida. It's turtle summer.
It's
All right,
always
that's for 2
thermal,
weeks.
infernal.
I need more than 2 weeks of it's not.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. Joe got temperance.
Temperance.
Joe. There is something in your life you need to temper. You need to transform something. I would say you know what it is without question. But yes, it is. We're going to go back to the alchemy thing that unexplained that Mel was talking about, right? And it's the alchemist. It's learning to mix, match, and you have that thing. What do you say? Get messy. Like leave your comfort zone and get messy.
Just don't explodicate yourself.
Just don't what?
Explodicate.
Don't explodicate. Like for me, often temperance is the true active version of balance. It's you actively have to measure and do and mix and things to get to the result you're looking for. So if temperance is showing up for you in this kind of beginning spot, you really, really want to make sure that you are actively engaging in that thing and feeling free to go do some things, try some things out, change a couple of things. Your next card is going to be all about putting out a new fire without any holds. So,
Yeah. And so much, I can't believe I got a wood-related card. Page of Wands. So much like the picture in the card, don't forget to toss your wand around a little bit this week. You know, don't be too like concerned with, don't be too serious this week. Take something new and fun and just go with it. Toss it around a little bit, play with it. Be joyful, be jubilant, be jubilant. It's about jubilation this week with your fire and your wand.
you're cut off.
Let's do some fire dancing. All right.
That's what I got.
Things I could say about that. That would be inappropriate.
Most things are.
I got strength for his last card.
Strength?
Strength.
Hey, that really, I mean, you got two majors. You've gone from temperance to a page who is a representative. I'm sure that's a representative of you, your page of your stick. And then you throw in strength, right? Now, generally speaking, strength is the soft, tender kindness of strength where you worked with something that is unusual and you have actually gotten a very positive reaction out of it, right? And so, you know, keep using that process or that idea. I say process too much, Tara, but keep using the idea of temperance and all of these other things to kind of guide you into making things work better for you. A lot's going on, but with the strength card, to me, that's saying you're going to have some really, really nice, comforting, positive outcomes of the things that you're doing right now. You're in a good space. Once you go out and play with your stick a little bit, it'll help you be stronger. And you'll actually be able to engage a little bit better with the world around you.
Yeah.
Go up
Totally.
with a stick, but have the strength not to break it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Don't overuse your stick, because it can... How did we devolve into this?
I don't know.
His fault.
It was Brad's fault.
But I mean, truly, if you place temperance with a page, like major
The
arcana with a
page.
court with another major, you really are looking at some transformative work here, some altering of things that are moving into new realms. I mean, the wands, yes, we can joke all day about it being a stick, but that's
Yeah.
the page of wands is the new creative. Like, this is the person going out on that new, just amazing new adventure, and they're going to make it fucking happen, and they're going to use strength to do it. So I think you're in a very good spot for whatever that is.
He said, thanks, perfect, and I enjoy playing with my staff.
That's better than if you would have said I enjoy playing with my stabs.
He's in the middle of an alchemy project, so
Yo,
that makes sense.
Very cool.
Totally. No problem.
All right, I think that's it.
Go get yourself some new ducks.
Yeah.
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 Now you gotta make your own ducks.
Oh, yeah,
Alchemy.
make your own ducks.
You're gonna make your own ducks out of the pigeon and the squirrel.
MR ducks.
Stick.
MR not. OSAR. CM wings. LIB. MR ducks.
Alrighty.
All right, y'all. It's been real. It's been fun.
It's been real fun.
It's been real fun. But it's hot as hell out here, and I want to go inside for a few minutes
Yeah.
and cool off
Yeah.
and pee.
Yes.
So, Great show. Glad you hung out. We went a little bit over, 20 minutes over, but it was fun with the tarot.
I know it didn't feel like it though. It went by fast.
Thank you all for joining. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us.
Yeah.
And please hope to see you next week. We want to go to our favorite part.
Yeah, the favorites.
We'll let Brad finish that out. If he can actually figure it out this time.
See what's going on.
Sorry about all the noise in the background. You can't pause it because then it'll never come up. You have to turn your volume down, dear.
Oh, okay. I'm having technical difficulty.
You are a technical difficulty.
I identify with that very hard.
Ah! All right, now I can pause it, right? And then flip it. Oh.
Should we do an after show? I don't think we can do an after show today. We've got a couple things we need to do. But Ziggy, I probably will be available later to play some games, I think.
Cool.
If you're available.
So please check out all of these awesome creators, witches, and wonderfuls from the Cauldron Witch on Instagram and from the Cauldron Witch Tarot on Instagram. You guys know she does amazing tarot. Go ahead and follow her from the Cauldron Witch Tarot on Instagram and watch when she goes live. Check into it. It is amazing. Paranormal Witch on YouTube and Lady Rose 819 on Instagram. That does awesome weekly vlogs on deity and paranormal. Unexplained Possibilities on YouTube and Unexplained Possibilities on Instagram. You all know and love Melvin, just like we do. He has great interviews and podcasts. Anything from everything on the unexplained and oftentimes tarot and divination. Ziggy Dreadful on Twitch. If you stop by and watch her when she's gaming, she's likely to invite you in to join. It's always a great time. As well as Maeve Felt on Twitch. Adius Dade. Ooh, I'm cut off. Adius Dade on Instagram and Twitch. And Mr. Malice on YouTube and Adius Dade on Facebook and Twitter, who, along with the guy sitting to my right on your left, looking at us, does a Friday night podcast, The Malice Experience. Friday nights at 8 Eastern. Who am I telling? 8:45 Eastern. Let's be real.
I've never been late.
Sometimes it's like 9:30.
I know.
Yeah. But we are the Two Pondering Pagans on YouTube and Facebook and Two Pondering Pagans on Twitter. I'm Rook Tempest on YouTube and Rook_Tempest on Instagram. This guy next to me is Mystic Salann on Twitch and Salann Tawin on YouTube. Thanks so much for spending some of your Sunday with us and hope you have a great week.
Yay! Deuces, bye. Have fun. Sorry we're not doing no after showy today, but we will open Discord later tonight and have some discussions. Thanks. Bye. I love you.